Brian says Yolie needs him too much.
She's way too dependent on me.
I'm independent!
But when she had a blind date
When I saw her, my jaw dropped.
and a second date,
He had his hair pushed back in a ponytail. He looks so delicious.
she didn't need Brian at all.
I think you should take some pointers from Reagan over here.
Now that Brian's decided he's the one with needs,
Yolie, would you marry me?
will Yolie say yes, or will she have a change of heart?
Welcome to Change of Heart. Now, our couple today says fate brought them together in New York City, and by the looks of it, they do seem to be meant for each other. But now they've moved to L.A., and today they're going to tempt fate with a new date. Will they stay together in Tinseltown, or will one head back to the Big Apple alone? We're going to find out. So please welcome Brian Murray and Yolie St. Villain. Welcome to the show. Thank you. Brian, besides her hair, what else is it that draws you to her?
Well, I mean, everything about Yolie is great, but I'm kind of used to dirty whore, like beauty pageant queen, like, daddy's little girl, the kind of girl you're not supposed to take home to mom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm used to girls like that. So when I met Yolie, I kind of thought she was a little too good for me,
Too good?
She's sweet. I mean, she's sweet. Look at her.
You're fortunate enough to have someone
That's what I'm
like
saying.
me.
I'm saying that.
He's actually admitting that.
Yes.
So Yolie, what attracted you to Brian?
He's very smart. He's a deep thinker, and I like that. And I had one relationship before him, so I'm not really impressed by guys that easily. But Brian impressed me a lot.
But he did the trick for you. Now, Yolie, I'm sure there's ways that he doesn't impress you. What are those?
He is so arrogant. Okay.
I'm not arrogant.
Arrogant.
At all.
Okay.
I'm not arrogant.
It's
It's
his
the pot
way.
calling
No,
the
it's
kettle
his
black.
way. It's his way. And
Pot
nothing.
calling
He
the
thinks
kettle
he's
black.
smarter. He thinks he's smarter
Yeah, well,
than
she thinks she's
everybody.
gotta be- yeah.
It's like a competition on who's smarter, and it's frustrating because he's so arrogant about things.
Always trying to outdo each other.
Always trying to
Give me an
outdo each
example.
other.
Yolie, give me an example.
I had like a family issue, and I was talking to him about it, and I was coming up with ways that we can solve it. And it was like his way, his opinion.
But
his
you see,
opinion,
her opinion
was the
was
right
wrong.
way
Oh,
to
well,
do it.
of course,
No,
okay?
his opinions.
Her opinion was
They're
wrong.
not facts.
All
I'm
right,
just telling you
Yolie,
about
hang on, because obviously you have some differences about this, but what about the communication in general between the two of you? What's that like?
He doesn't listen.
I listen. What are you talking about?
I ask him a freaking question, and it's like he interrupts. If you're gonna
That's
ask
not
me
true.
a freaking
That's
question,
not
let me
true.
answer. You know?
That's not true. I don't know what
Give her
you're
some
saying.
answers.
I don't know what Let me
You
answer.
see? She keeps going on. So it's like a conversation is give, take. You say something, I say
He's
something.
acting really nice
Brian,
now,
let me ask
but-
you, why do you think, though, she feels that way? Something's
Because it's
set
got to
wrong.
be her way. If it's not her way, it's the highway. She's the most impatient person on the earth. No patience
I'm
whatsoever.
very patient. I put up with you not listening to
Put
me.
up with me.
see?
You
You got it, right?
You hear this? Put up with me? What is that?
Now, Brian, give me an example so we all understand how she's impatient.
I got a good one. Okay, a few weeks ago, we're driving around looking for Chinese food. Okay, now in New York
Ow.
City, you can find a Chinese food restaurant
Anywhere.
every other corner.
Sure.
Okay, in LA, it's not like that. Okay, but it's not just Chinese
But it should
food.
be like that.
Shh. It's not just Chinese food. It's specifically shrimp fried rice. If she didn't get shrimp fried rice, I'm like, can't you just get a burger? It's like
when
3
you
o'clock
have
in the
moods-
morning.
You know when you have
Chinese
moods
food places
to have
At that
one
point, you
thing
just gotta give it
craving.
up. Okay, wait, hold on.
One thing.
Let me ask you, Brian, since you mentioned New York and that's where you guys are from, how is it different out here in LA with the two of you since those days?
Well, she didn't have a driver's license and a car. I should be enough to be saying.
People,
that's bad
people
news
in
here.
New York,
If you
people
don't-
in New York grow old and die, and they don't have a driver's
This
license
is not
because we
New
have
York.
subway systems.
Yeah, but you're in
that
LA.
bring you
Thank you.
everywhere.
Thank you,
I'm
Chris.
getting it. I'm
Thank
getting
you.
it. I'm getting
Thank
it.
you.
I'm
You're
getting
not-
it. I'm getting it.
She's way too dependent on me. I'm trying.
I'm independent. I am independent.
Put her on my
I am a 90s woman. I'm independent.
Okay,
Excuse me.
no,
Independent nothing. I need you to take me to work.
Independent.
Because we can all understand that situation if you don't have a car. What about with Brian, things that maybe you noticed since you guys moved out here?
Money. He'll have a penny and it'll be gone in like a second. $5, it'll be gone. What happened to that?
I live
We've
in the
been out
moment.
here. You've been out here
Live
for like
in the
4
moment.
months, and
Money
he has
is
like
a means to an
$200
end.
worth of parking tickets. And then they're like in the car underneath the couch. I'll find like a bills. Like 3-month-old bills in the car. In
I
the
use them like to
bed.
wipe off my
It's
windshield.
Yeah, but that's not
ridiculous.
good.
dirty.
He
They're going to come back to haunt you
doesn't-
eventually.
He does
So,
not.
Brian, through all of this, why did you think this was a good time to come on this show and go on these dates?
Okay, well, I came all the way out here, basically for her. And I wanted to make sure that this is what I'm supposed to be. I want to know whether or not we're going to be moving in together, or I'm going to be going back to New York because I don't like LA.
Okay, well, one way or the other, something is going to happen here. Now, stay tuned because Brian says there was a lot of whining going on during his date, but he loved it. Find out why when we come back. Now, Brian is afraid that Yolie will be easily tempted. Yet, Brian's date calls herself a temptress and says that Yolie is the one that should be worried. So please welcome Letha Sol Garcia. Good to see you. You know Brian? So, Yolie, let me ask you, are you worried about her tempting Brian?
She's cute, but I'm not worried. It looks like one of his past girlfriends.
Something from the past. Brian, was this your first date in L.A. with someone other than Yolie?
Yes. And it was great. We had a good time when she first called me. She called me up, which was awesome. Called me up on the phone, lots of energy, was totally excited to meet me. Was just like, I can't wait to meet you. Yeah, let's hook up. We're going to have a good time. We're going to go out. We're going to kick it.
Mm-hmm.
She was good to go. And Letha, were you excited to meet Brian?
At first I wasn't because he sounded very white, no diss or anything, I was like, hold on.
Speech.
I requested an intellectual thug, kind of, but intellectual, you know. But when we met, it was all good.
So you were surprised. Okay, that's good. And Brian, were you on time for the date?
No. I was a little late, and when I called her up to I'm running a little late, I'm on my way. Where are you? How come you're not here yet? And I was like, I'm sorry, but I'm on my way. I'm right down the street. She was like, you are all in the wrong place. You need to turn around. So I thought she was going to be pissed for the whole date.
Letha, now, when you got there, were you still PO'd when you got there, or did you calm down?
Actually, I wasn't because he did the sweetest thing.
What did he do?
Oh, brother.
Before he got there, he asked me what my favorite number was. I said 23. And he made this bouquet of flowers made out of balloons. 23 balloons.
You'll be all right. Hang on.
23 balloons, and he added a 24th one for good luck.
That's right.
See that?
Nice cake went on top.
And he gave me this beautiful candy bar. It was really sweet chocolate.
And Brian, did you get a big thank you from that?
Oh yeah, man. I got a big hug for the bouquet.
You did get a thank you.
You be quiet.
You got a big hug?
First, I got a big hug for the flowers. And then when I popped up the candy bar, I got another big hug. So I was like, and I got like the puppy dog, oh, you're so sweet eyes, So it was like, oh yeah.
All right,
It
so
was
that's
sweet
good.
though. It was sweet though. Nobody's ever done that.
Now, how about if you do something nice for Yolie? How does she react?
Like she just reacted just now, She doesn't appreciate it. You do something nice, she's like, that's it?
Right?
That's all I get?
I'm not used to I'm not.
Brian, what about physically when you met Letha? What was that like? How about physical
That's
attraction?
a New York thing. No.
Brian, when you saw her, were you physically attracted?
When I saw her, I couldn't really see her that well because it was kind of dark and she's walking down the street when she came down the stairs. But when she got out there, I was checking around a little bit. I was like, oh yeah, she had nice tight jeans on.
Yolie over here
is like the, Betty Boop, the blonde Betty Boop over here.
And Letha, what about when you met Brian and the hair and everything? How did you feel?
Well, it's a little tame today, but it was really nice. It was just wild and just funky, and he had a really cool stilo.
Yolie, how would you describe Brian's style?
I think his clothes are raggedy. I think that he needs to
What are you talking about?
buy some new clothes.
What are you talking about? Buy me some new clothes.
You got your own money. If you know how to, take care of your money, you would be
All right,
able
Brian,
to.
let's talk about the difference between the
Spend it all
women.
on you.
Brian, the differences between the two women. Yolie always has to have things her way. How was the date?
Oh no, man! When Lady and I got to the restaurant, I mean, she was like totally just like, oh, just order for me, And I'm not used to that. Yoli's just like, I want this, and he'll have this, and he'll have this.
I know what I want.
You know what I mean? We got there. She's like, nah, just
you.
order whatever. I'm just down for what I'm here to experiment. Let's just
And
get
Brian,
something
what
new.
about conversation? Was there that nervous chit chat, or was it more
no,
intimate?
not at all. She was like breaking out her poetry and showing me some of her songs that she's written and some hot pictures of her. So it was real smooth, you know? It's like, yeah, man.
So it got a lot deeper then. Okay, so you had dinner, and then I understand you guys went club hopping, or at least tried to afterwards. Is that right?
Well, the first club we tried to go to this club right after we had dinner, and it was just dead whack. It was a horrible place to be. We were standing in line, but it was real cool because, you know, like, I got to see what she was really looking like. It was the dark restaurant, dark car, you know, dark street. We got into the club, and it's like real light outside where the club is. And I was like, oh, yeah. And everybody was checking her out and checking me out with it. And I was like, that's right.
And it was all good then?
You're not. Oh, yeah.
And did anything stand out, though, while you were standing out there comparing?
Well, her sense of humor. When we were standing out there, I mean, everything was cool then, but, like, we didn't get in that club that night. So then, like, the next night, she calls me up, and we got to go out to another place, this reggae spot.
My spot.
She took me to reggae dancing. Listen, when we get to the door of the reggae club, she takes off her jacket, and she's got on, like, this, like, tube top, so, like, you know, like, rags, like, you know what I mean? And, like, you know, and, like, you know, Yolie's...
All right, now, before we hear more about that, Yolie, how do you feel that he had a second date going on here?
I don't like it for the simple fact that they went to a reggae club, and you know how they dance at reggae clubs.
Yeah, Sabarang, smooth boy.
Explain how they dance at reggae clubs.
Okay, she's from the islands, so in the islands, everybody whines. But it's just a dance.
I don't think so.
Dance.
Yeah,
It's a dance.
You're at a club, that's what you do.
It's a reggae club,
Supposed to be close. You know, a little bump and grind, you know what I mean? Never hurt nobody. It's
No,
all good.
unacceptable.
It's all good. We had a good
So,
time.
Brian, did you feel like you and Latha were whining, or what?
Oh, yeah, man. We got on that dance floor. I mean, I'm not bragging. I can hold my own. But later, professional dancer, I'm talking like hair was whipping all over the place. You know what I mean? I was standing up there. Every dude in the club was totally trying to get with her. I was like,
please,
that's
you're right.
She's walking up to her like, yeah, can I get up there? She's like, I don't know you. Step off.
Yeah, but wait a minute. How about when you're out with Yolie? Do the guys act like that with her?
Well, yeah, but it's different.
They do.
I mean, yeah,
every guy sweats me everywhere we go.
Yeah, but it's different.
They're all sweating you.
I'm the bomb.
All right, Latha, the end of this date
please.
sounded like it was a lot better than the end of the first, no?
It was. We danced till the break of dawn, till they closed the doors down.
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
And he gave me a sweet little goodnight kiss on the cheek. And he
I'd be
said,
a gentleman, you know.
he said he wants to see me again, too.
Oh, he did. He told you that. All right, well, we'll see if that happens. Yolie
we will.
decided that she wanted 2 dates, too, and says that her second night out ended with a tasty surprise. That's next, so stay tuned. On Brian's date with Latha, now we're going to meet Yolie's date. Now, he says that his first date with Yolie was just an appetizer, but the second date was definitely a tasty dessert. Please welcome Regan Farquhar. Regan, welcome. How are you, sir? Good to see you. You know, Brian, we commented on your hair. Obviously, you care to comment on Reagan's?
Yeah, well, you know, if I wanted to look like a character from Tekken 3 too, you know, I could do that.
He looks good.
Good.
Yolie, so tell us, what's the first thing you look for in a guy?
He has to be energetic, exciting. I was kind of disappointed when I first talked to Reagan because he was really quiet on the phone, so I wasn't sure if he wanted to see me or not.
He didn't sound too excited. And Reagan, what was the problem? Were you not up to it?
No, I was. I mean, I was just at work, you know, I was very concentrated, but I was really excited to meet Yolie. She had a whole lot of energy on the phone. I knew she was from New York, so I knew she had that dynamic, so I was really excited.
So you were hoping for good things? And Yolie, when Reagan showed up, things pick up a little bit?
Well, I was freaking out because I'm like, he was late and I was paging him and I thought he was gonna, you know, stand me up, so I was like, you know, freaking out.
So you're totally freaking, and Brian, is that how she normally acts?
Oh yeah, freaking out. That's her standard. Spaz attack, you know, freaking out. Yeah, I can imagine what he was going through that night because I know when he showed up, she was probably just like, I know you was late.
Now, Reagan, I hope you showed up where we got nothing else to talk about.
Once I showed up, I was there with bells on, and when I saw her, my jaw dropped. She was involved. She is a gorgeous woman, and I just have to give it up to her right
So,
now.
Yolie, when you finally saw him, your panic attack sort of settled down?
Oh, it did. I saw him and I saw Maxwell. He looked so good. I kept calling him Maxwell throughout the whole night.
Right,
Yeah.
the music guy.
Yeah.
And Reagan, did Yolie tell you anything about Brian while you guys were hanging out?
I mean, she said that they had a good relationship, but that she was kind of disappointed that he requested like a hot, seductive Spanish mommy for his day, because that's kind of like the total opposite of her.
Yeah,
If you're gonna go out, you're gonna do it right.
There you go.
Right?
And Yolie,
You're
were you
already
worried about
doing it
him
right,
dating
man.
somebody else? Were you concerned?
No, not really. I think he's more concerned about me leaving him because he doesn't really trust women. So I think he was more concerned about me.
Did you find that Reagan was a better listener and Reagan was totally paying
yes,
attention?
he is. Reagan, we had a wonderful conversation
Yeah, I'm sure
the
she
whole
talked
night.
zero.
He listened to me. We didn't
All night
compete
long.
about who's smarter, and I think you should take some pointers from Reagan over here.
Yolie, I heard one of the places you went to was a club. What was that like, and what did you think about it?
Oh, well, there's a story behind that. He decides to bring me to like a bad part of town, and he's telling me about all these gang shooting people. So I'm freaking out, and he's laughing.
Reagan, what are you thinking? Was it really that bad of an area?
I was exaggerating just to freak her out because she's from out of town, but it really wasn't that bad. But it was cool though because she was shivering and hugging up on me and whatnot. So that was kind of
And you were the protector.
Yeah, right.
Brian, how can you tell when Yolie's comfortable with someone?
Oh, she belches.
Oh, she just lets one rip?
No, I don't mean like a little excuse me. I mean like.
I'll try to do it for you guys.
Well, Reagan, was she comfortable? Was there any burping going on?
Was there ever? I thought that there was a bear in the car.
Yeah, it feels like a trigger, right?
I know. I had to roll down the whole car.
like
roll down the window.
But I felt comfortable. I felt comfortable with him to do it.
Yeah, so I was glad you did.
Yeah, but
And I did it.
Brian, don't lose sight of the point, though. She must have been pretty comfortable if she was letting
Well,
him rip.
obviously, I'm
very
saying she held the burping away from me at least for 2-3
I was
days.
very
You know what I mean?
The
I was
first
like
day.
belching all over homeboy over
All right,
here.
hold on, because we got to get to the second date. Because Yolie, I understand for the second date you guys headed out for dessert. Tell us how sweet it was.
Well, I was a bit nervous but excited about it. And the second time he picked me up, he had his hair pushed back in the ponytail. He looked so delicious.
You hear that? Delicious.
Very
Yeah, delicious. Sure.
All right, Reagan, she says the second date was a real treat. Were you excited?
Ooh, boy, I was jumping out of my seat as soon as I got there. I was so excited. I really wanted to see her again.
Yeah, second
I really
date.
really did.
Dog and he.
And Yolie, could you tell that Reagan was feeling pretty comfortable with you at this point?
Yes, he was very comfortable. I was sitting there, he just leaned over and gave me a kiss, and I felt really comfortable with him because usually I don't open up to guys like that. And I
Open
was
up.
really,
Yeah, I bet she did.
I was really opened up by Reagan.
Brian, obviously she was feeling comfortable.
Yeah, obviously.
Yes.
I was very
She's
opened
feeling
up.
comfortable right now, too.
Very opened up.
A little bit. So Yolie, was the second date pretty short?
It was short and it
but
was
sweet.
worth it. It was worth it, definitely. Being that I've been in only one other relationship besides Brian, he showed me that there's, something
There ain't
else
that
out
much more
there.
out there.
And, he said that he was looking for a woman like me, so,
And there you are.
Yeah, woo!
All right, who will be staying in LA and who will be heading back to New York? We're going to find out where everybody's going when we come back. Stay tuned. Couple today decided to see if their relationship was ready for them to move in together or if it was time for Brian to head back to New York. So that's what we want to find out. And Brian, we're going to start with you. Now, you got some problems in your relationship, obviously. We sent you out with Lathan. You guys had a good time, reggae dancing and all that went on, but we got to get your decision. What do you say?
All right, well, I had a great time with Leda. I mean, a great time. I was tempted, but I wasn't tempted that much. So I definitely want to
stay together. Lathan, sorry things didn't work out for you.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. What would you want to say,
I
Brian?
have one more thing to say. Yolie, you're pretty awesome. I love you. And you deserve way more than just a bouquet of flowered balloons. So,
Uh-oh.
Yolie, would you marry me? Because this could be really bad if your decision is wrong. So let's get your decision real quick. What do you say?
I had a great time with Reagan, but
Oh, okay, stay together, she says. Now, wait. Now, what about the big question? Oh, she's grabbing the ring. You say yes? Uh-huh. Here we go. Well, I guess that answers all the questions in this relationship. That's our show for today. Thanks to Reagan and Latha. And good luck to Brian and Yolie. See you next time on Change of Heart.